Hi there, name's Stephen Whitaker. Throughout these sequences of videos, I will be talking about how a standard SLR camera works and how to use it. This first video will be talking about the basic settings of the camera, such as aperture, shutter speed, focus, ISO, depth of field, and backlighting. Alright, let's get going. To begin with, I'll talk about the uses of aperture and how it is used. The definition for the word aperture is the adjustable opening in a camera, allowing more or less light to come into the camera. The aperture size can be referred to as f numbers, for example, f22, f16, f11, f8.0, f5.6, and etc. Each of these values represents one time the amount of light, either more or less in quantity, meaning to say f16 will let in 1 times the amount of light than a diaphragm opening of f22 and so forth, while on the other hand, an aperture of f4.0 will let in 1 times lesser than that of f2.8, etc. The second subject I would like to talk about is the depth of field. Depth of field refers to the range of distance that appears acceptably sharp. It varies depending on camera type, aperture, and focusing distance. Although print size and viewing distance can also influence our perception of depth of field. This presentation is designed to give better intuitive and technical understanding of photography. Next up, shutter speed. Shutter speed is one of the most basic important controls in a camera. Shutter speed controls the amount of time that your film or digital sensor is exposed to light. In effect, the shutter determines what image is captured on your film. The shutter is a small plastic sheet that opens and closes to allow light onto the film or prevent light from reaching the film. The shutter is opened when you press the shutter release button on your camera to take a picture. The shutter speed determines how long the shutter remains open. This next subject will take time to conquer, but not very much. Focus in the camera is seeing what is available within a limited range of distances from the camera to have it been taken clearly. The process of adjusting this range is known as changing the camera's focus. There are various ways of focusing a camera accurately. Using a digital SLR camera will become very frustrating if you don't understand how to set the focus on the exact object you are trying to photograph. This and all other subjects in this presentation shall be explained to a greater extent in my second video. ISO stands for International Standards Organization. It determines the film speed and how quickly the film can respond to light within a specific amount of time. The ISO determines the amount of detail and the amount of light in a photograph taken. The lower the ISO, for example 60 or 100, the more light comes in and the more detail, but the slower the image will be captured. The higher the ISO, on the other hand, for example 450 to 800 perhaps, the image will be captured fast, but on the other hand having less light and with less detail. The film speeds come in the following ratings: 25, 50, 100, 200, 400, 800, 1600, and 3200. Well, that's all for now, folks. I'll see you in the next video explaining how to use all these basic maneuvers with more depth. See you later.